What's up, guys, and welcome to this. This is your WWE/AAA Worlds Collide 2025 review show. I'm your host LK from SOS Wrestletalk. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, drop a comment with your thoughts and opinions on tonight's show, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Win, loss, or tie, as always, let us know down below. I'm going to give this show a win. I really am. I'm going to give it a solid win. There was not a match on this show, which, by the way, is free. You can watch this completely free on the WWE's YouTube channel, at least over here in the UK. So it was really nice to actually watch a American, even though it's AAA, an American show live in the UK at 8 PM, like you guys in America usually get. So it is really nice to be able to actually watch it at a respectful hour. So, for example, tonight Money in the Bank is on at 1 AM in the morning till 4 or 5, however fucking long the show lasts. I won't be watching that live. I'll be watching that tomorrow morning, that's for damn sure. But man, this show was just really good. Absolutely just tremendous. 5 really great matches, especially the main event. I thought when the main event started, I thought, man, I've watched a lot of great wrestling here. I don't know if this is going to be able to live up to any sort of expectations, but fuck me, it did. So let's get down to it. 7th of June, which is today, live from the Forum in LA, California. The commentary team for tonight was Konnan and Corey Graves. So Corey Graves did the whole play-by-play, called the moves, and Konnan was basically there to just fill in the knowledge gaps that Corey Graves didn't have. He would just come out with these random stories, and I dug it. And it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do, because obviously AAA have Triple Mania coming up in August. Are they going to do weekly shows that are going to air live on YouTube? Is that something that they're going to do? Are they going to be monthly specials? Because that's something I'd really dig. If they did a weekly show like they do with Evolve, have a weekly show on like a Saturday or something, or a Sunday, just having it but still feeling like this, or like AAA. But if you've never watched AAA before or aren't familiar with any of the wrestlers, this is a really great introduction. So you can head into this show and not know anything about anyone relating AAA, and they cover you with it. So they did a really good video package to kick the show off about basically promoting WWE acquiring AAA. It was narrated by Rey Mysterio, basically just to let you know, guys, we bought this thing. But it's crazy because they must own all the footage of the old AAA content, because obviously they purchased the company. It's a shame they don't have the W Network still. It really is. They could have been added to it, like they did with Evolve, like they did with WXW in Germany, Progress, ICW. But then they sold out for more money. Then that's what they did. They sold out for more fucking money. And fair play to them. That's, in the end of the day, it is a business. But again, I wouldn't mind if WWE let Konnan and AAA actually book it, but WWE air it. That's my hope from taking away from this. Before I get down to the show, my hope is that Konnan and AAA book AAA, but WWE promotes it, makes money from it, adds English commentary so that we all can watch. We had a Mexican national anthem. Lillian Garcia then did the American national anthem. Then Rey Mysterio comes out. Dig his beard, by the way. He cuts a promo in Spanish about Worlds Collide. He was originally in the mid-90s, and he's excited for AAA going forward. There was no 6-sided ring. That's what AAA normally use, and I'm going to say out there here, maybe they should use a 6-sided ring when they do these shows again. Obviously the wrestlers probably won't want to enjoy bumping on it, but they could sell it as toys. Think of the merch money there, boys. That's all they think about these days, isn't it? How can we make money? Doing the Slim Jims on the table is fucking ridiculous, but it's business at the end of the day, isn't it? They're trying to make money. So let's get to the opening match with Aero Star, Mr. Iguana, and Octagón Jr. against LWO's Dragon Lee, Lince Dorado, and Cruz de Toro. Man, so when Mr. Iguana came out, so he's basically all in green, and he has what I'd like to call a puppet. So I don't know what in America I believe they call it stuffed animals. So it's basically an iguana. Well, it's not an iguana, but it's a stuffed iguana that he puts his hand in and he can control the mouth. That's Mr. Iguana. So when he came out, I was like, fuck me, what is this? What is going on here? Obviously new Aero Star from Lucha Underground. Man, I loved Lucha Underground. Even if that's something they could do a spin-off Lucha Underground and put it on Netflix. That'd be amazing. But this one started off Cruz, Toro and Octagón Jr. of traditional Lucha Libre chain wrestling, which got a nice standing ovation. And then Mr. Iguana got tagged in. Massive pop, by the way. And he's actually really good in ring. I'm not even going to lie to you. So he done the sweep the leg, him being Mr. Iguana. So he swept the leg and then put the iguana puppet on top of Lince Dorado, and then he was the ref and started counting to 3 himself, which was really funny. All three AAA wrestlers then do tope con helos, but Lince Dorado was nowhere to be seen when catching Octagón Jr. So he just does a tope con helo and bumps flat back right on the outside, right on the floor, and he splatted. It was quite disgusting, to be honest. I mean, Octagon's, in fairness to Lince Dorado, he was actually lying down on the floor before even Octagón Jr. left his feet. So maybe he should have been like, oh shit, he's not there. But in the same time, if you're just running and going for it, it completely makes sense. Then Dragon Lee and Aero Star have a good back and forth. Man, I'd really enjoy a long one-on-one with those two, Dragon Lee and Aero Star. Lince gets the iguana puppet, throws it on the floor, stomps in it, and then there's an elbow drop to it, a Spanish fly to it, and the heat that got was fucking insane. Everyone then does these springboards, these dives, a "This is awesome" chant. Lince hits a super Frankensteiner off the top, and then Octagon with a moonsault follow-away slam to get the win. What a really great way to kick off AAA under the WWE umbrella as a WWE produced show. And then Dom Mysterio's music. Dom Mysterio then has a mic, and he asks for the music to be cut. Starts cutting a promo in Spanish. Crowd absolutely hates him. Octagón Jr. then gets in his face and then throws him over the barricade. They start brawling. Dom then just gets pissed off. He grabs the mic, grabs his IC belt and says, "I'll see you at Money in the Bank for a shot at the IC title." Boom. Adam Pearce on social media did confirm this. So we will get a IC title match between Octagón Jr. and Dominic Mysterio on tonight's show. Then we had a video package hyping AAA. So we had Conan saying AAA will not be Americanized. Oh, Conan, do you not know how this works? I'm going to be honest, I hope and I pray that AAA is left to its own devices. They just promote it, produce it, and make money on it. That's the hope. Hopefully Conan and AAA still keep the book. Because if it's anything like this, spectacular. But then if WWE are going to book it and they book it like this, no problems for me. But it will be Americanized. There's no way they're not. Because this was basically WWE presenting Lucha Libre, which is fine. It generally is fine because it's still somewhat similar. Because I have watched Triple Manias in the past. But man, difficult. Then we had Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice against Dalys and Chik Tormenta. Obviously, Vaquer is in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match tonight. The good thing about me recording this tonight is if you plan on watching this and you're like, oh, I'm trying to stay spoiler free for Money in the Bank because I'm watching it, say, Sunday night, I don't actually know what happens. Tormento hits a nice close on the floor. Team AAA cut the ring in half, work over Vice. Vaquer hot tag. SBB gets the win. Story of this match was basically Dalys was the teacher of Vaquer. She was the one who they had their first match together. Well, Dalys had Vaquer's first match. So that's like a big thing, which Conan did a really great job on commentary explaining. So again, alright women's match here. Nothing that's offensive, nothing bad. Pretty solid match. But again, Conan really having Conan there is so beneficial because he really does explain kind of the lore, if you will, of AAA. Because obviously it's a lot different to what WWE is. Then we had a backstage interview with Chad Gable. He says Mexican fans will love him after El Grande America wins Money in the Bank tonight, and that he will be walking out the new AAA Mega Champion. Do apologise. If I was a professional, I would have paused. Since I'm not, I didn't. Just had a swig of my drink. It is Saturday night, and I'm having a Saturday night in, so I thought I'd have a few beverages. I say few. This is the first one I've opened. I'm drinking tonight. It's called a Doom Bar. Okay, it's a amber ale, 4.3%. It is pretty nice actually. It's quite refreshing. I'm a man of taste when it comes to my alcoholic beverages. I quite like an ale, quite like an IPA. I want to try Steve Austin's IPA. That's something I really do want to try. But yeah, I'm a big advocate of, on a Saturday night when it's just you, every now and then just having an alcoholic beverage. I hope you. I was about to say crack open yours, but it might be 6 a.m. in the morning, and then I don't recommend cracking open an alcoholic beverage. I recommend making a nice brew, a nice cup of tea, a nice cup of Rosie Lee. Fuck me. Then we had Legado Del Fantasma up against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr, Psycho Clown, and Pagano. I'm going to call him Wagner Jr. Please, if you listen to this and you're a massive Lucha Libre fan, don't get offended. I'm just not going to pronounce El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. every single time. So they did a pre-match video package of Legado del Fantasma saying they want to rip the heart and soul of AAA by taking these three out. It was a decent video package. Now, I actually think that AAA should be a place where basically WWE just ship these guys off to. I think they should generally just go over there, get your reps in, and I'm not saying they need reps, but exposure, ring time, because they're doing jolly squat in WWE. And it's a shame because Berto's great, Angel Garza's really good, as is obviously Escobar, but they're just not doing anything in WWE right now. So why not? You've got this company, why not send them over? Unfortunately they're not wrestlers that are going to go over there and they're going to be big draws, but you make them big draws, and then when WWE goes over to Mexico, you can then use them and help pack that house. But yeah, this one was pretty good. Psycho Clown hit a really nice pop-up forearm and then Germaned both Berto and Angel. Pagano had an absolute stinker. So he comes in, he fucks up a double clothesline spot and fucks up a flapjack. He's usually a hardcore wrestler, so you give him that. But he makes up for it by going for a tope con hilo. Santos moves Angel out the way, and Pagano just splattered on the floor. Just absolutely brutal. All three AAA wrestlers hit dives to the outside at the same time. Angel and Berto did this gorilla press off the top. Basically, they both stood on the top with Wagner Jr. up above them and flips him to the floor. That was absolutely ridiculous. Psycho Driver on the apron, all 6 hitting spots, and then Santos with the Phantom Driver getting the win. I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. Because 3 top AAA talents, I knew all 3 heading in. Obviously, I've seen Wagner Jr. in Noah, and I've seen Psycho Clown and Pagano in previous Triple Manias I've watched. I haven't watched loads of Triple Manias, I'd say. I've probably watched kind of 3 or 4. It all just depends, because I know Fight had them for a while. When they've been on Fight, I've caught them, but not every time. It hasn't been like a routine where I'd be like, okay, it's Triple Mania season, I'm going to watch it, because it's a lot more difficult to keep up with, especially when you don't speak that language. I know it's not an excuse, especially as we on this channel cover New Japan, but where me and Dion have been watching and covering New Japan for give or take 10 years at this point, we know who everyone is, and there's English commentary. But then with AAA in the past, the English commentary's been Matt Striker and Vampiro, who in Lucha Underground, that's great. But yeah, you don't listen to that all day long. But yeah, this was again another good match. Surprised by the outcome. And then we had the North American Championship on the line from NXT. We had Ethan Page defending against Rey Fénix, Javon Evans, and Laredo Kid. So Laredo Kid is the current AAA World Cruiserweight Champion. Man, I saw this on paper and you're just looking at it going, this is going to be incredible. Laredo Kid obviously probably watched him either in TNA or AAA. And in the UK, he's done quite a lot of stuff over here. But fuck me, this was really good. I thought this would be match of the night. Heading in, I wish I did a preview show. I just didn't have the time, unfortunately. Real life does get in the way of doing all the shows. I wish I could, but I do what I can. Yeah, I would. I mean, this one again, heading in, Ethan Page is retaining, but I would have predicted this to be match of the night, and it nearly was. But Fénix and Javon Evans, they started off with these incredible back and forth of strikes, then traditional Lucha Libre hold to hold. I want Fénix, Javon Evans, one-on-one, 20 minutes. Please. The Radio Kid did this insane moonsault straight off the top to the floor. The height was ridiculous. There was a "We want tables" chant, and Conan goes, "Why would you want tables in a match like this?" Just really good. Just even made me laugh. I do bet you that online on social media there will be people who will be going, "Oh, Conan was being..." What word do you reckon they'll use? Maybe lazy, or that will probably be the word. That will probably be the word. That's probably what they're going to say. But I didn't find that. I felt like he was basically, his job wasn't to call the action. It was to explain the lore, to explain the backstories, and to explain the characters. Laredo would hit this flipping reverse running DDT, which is crazy. Evans hits this running dive over the top to the floor onto Ethan Page, and he nearly cleared the Spanish announce table. It was absolutely incredible. Evans hits a swanton off the top to Laredo, who was in the Tree of Woe on the other side of the ring, basically a Van Daminator, but he flipped into it, which is really nice. Evans hit a springboard cutter that was so high, I think even Will Ospreay would have clapped his hands at it. Fénix hits a Fénix driver for a 2. And then there was just constant... It was too many spots to even jot down on the keyboard. It was just all 4 men were just going absolute at it until they all fell to the floor, all on the mat. That got a loud "This is awesome" chant. And most matches on this show, you got to admit, most matches on this show had a "This is awesome" chant. I know it's different. You know, if we're talking 20 years ago, a "This is awesome" chant, you'd get one a night, sometimes not even that guaranteed. So "This is awesome" chants are very regular now, which is obviously good because it means the wrestling that you're watching is good. But I think "This is awesome" is definitely a bit overused. "We want tables" needs to go away. Never want to hear that again. "What" should only be used when Steve Austin is there. And "This is awesome" and "Holy shit," it's just ridiculous. It is, you know, this, "You deserve it's even worse. But "This is awesome" is fine if it is kind of, this is special. Like in the main event of this show, yes. This match, yes. Other 2 matches before that, maybe not. Page then throws Evans out of the ring into Fénix, hits the Twist of Fate on Laredo Kid. 1, 2, 3, gets the win. Ethan Page retains the NXT North American Championship. We then had a really good match. If I was you and you didn't have the full 2.5 hours in length that the show was, I'd recommend watching this match and the main event. So then you're only kind of watching 45 minutes to an hour if you skip the video packages and stuff. So that would be my recommendation if you're kind of short on time. Then we had a Triple Mania video package saying that if the Super Bowl was WrestleMania, the World Cup is Triple Mania. and that is coming up on August the 16th. And then we had the main event. We had the AAA Mega Championship. Hijo del Vikingo defending the championship against Chad Gable. Vikingo won this championship only a week ago. He defeated Alberto El Patron, aka Alberto Del Rio, to win the title last week in Mexico. Gable is going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He's a crazy man. I would love to know what Dave Meltzer is going to give this match, because I don't think that the men's Money in the Bank match, just looking at it, is going to get 5 stars. And I know it's irrelevant, it's not important. But imagine, actually I wouldn't even count that. Imagine if Gable gets a 5-star and then wins Money in the Bank all in a day's work. That's mental. Not that means anything. It's kind of irrelevant what some guy who hadn't taken a bump really thinks. To be honest, if you're Chad Gable, I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck. I can guarantee you he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he might do, but I highly doubt it. There was some Let's Go Gable, Gable sucks. He's getting that Cena rub being in the main event. There's some good tech work here to start off, as you expect with Chad Gable. Vikingo does a 620 off the top to the floor on the back of Gable. Absolute crazy. Vikingo then goes for running shooting star off the apron to the floor. Gable gets his knees up. Vikingo then murders Gable with a double stomp off the top onto Gable, who was draping on the ropes. Just the sound. It wasn't a sound that you hear when they're slapping their leg. It was the sound of foot on chest. Really nasty stuff. Vikingo then on the middle rope facing the outside twists and then mid-air turns into 450 for a near fall. That was incredible. That got a "this is awesome" chant. Hopefully so. Gable then, he's off on the top rope and he hits a full back sit down powerbomb off the top rope for a near fall. Fucking amazing. What a spot. That's going to be gift forever. Vikingo's then on top of the turnbuckle. He then, and when I mean turnbuckle, I'm not just talking the top rope, the top of the turnbuckle. He then he dives forward and hits a Canadian Destroyer on the apron. Gable then hits a moonsault off the top to the outside through a table. Vikingo twists off the top into a Poison Rana, and a 630 off the top gets the win for Vikingo. What a match. Unbelievable. Man, that was perfectly booked. You know, it's Chad Gable doesn't come across as a loser when he wrestles, when the match is that good. It's kind of like, oh, he got beat by the guy they're basically saying is the best Lucha Libre wrestler in the world, because he's the AAA Mega Champion and it is a AAA show. So, on that standpoint, Gable's protected. Plus, it's being this El Grande Americano, it kind of doesn't matter what happens to Gable because it's basically a different character. Even though it's the same human being, it's kind of similar with, you know, Cactus Jack and Mankind. Mankind could lose, but then Cactus Jack could win. That doesn't mean Mick Foley's shit. I know it's different, but my prediction tonight is El Grande Americano, by the way. And it'll be interesting to see if you're watching this post Money in the Bank, whether that's the case. But with that in mind, guys, I've been waffling on for far too long now. If you haven't already, go back and check out the TNA Against All Odds 2025 review show if you haven't done so already. Also, just let you know, I've got a new series coming up. I'm bringing a season to the SOS Wrestletalk YouTube channel. It's going to be called Wrestling Rewind. I'll show you a quick graphic on your screen. That will be the logo. So basically, it will be a season will be a year. So for season 1, it's going to be TNA in 2006. So I'm going to cover every episode of Impact and every pay-per-view from 2006, starting with January the 1st, then going to the 7th, 14th, and then the final Resolution pay-per-view. I'm going to keep going until that is all done and I've done the full year, right? And that will be full season 1 of Wrestling Rewind. Then season 2, I'll leave it up to you guys. We'll do a big poll, a big vote on what year we do decide to cover next. So make sure you stick around for that and check that out. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so when we go and post a video each and every time. I want to thank you for choosing to watch the AAA Worlds Collide review. I know there'll probably be lots of options, so thank you so much for choosing ourselves. Hope you have a great night. Make sure you stay safe, stay well. This has been LK, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.